Welcome back to the channel, my friends. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most interesting coins from the United States, the 2005 Buffalo nickel. Many people have heard that some of these coins are worth a lot of money, even up to $5,000, but not all of them are that valuable. In this video, we'll break down everything you need to know: the history of this coin, its design, the different errors that make some versions rare, and the real current market values in 2025. I'll keep everything super easy to understand, so even if you're new to coins, you'll be able to follow along and check your own nickels at home. Let's start with a little history, because every coin has its own story. The 2005 Buffalo nickel was part of a special collection called the Westward Journey Nickel Series. These nickels were made by the U.S. Mint to celebrate the journey of Lewis and Clark as they explored the American West. The D on the coin means it was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado. In 2005, there were two different designs made that year, one called the Ocean in View nickel, and the other, which we're talking about today, the American Bison nickel, often just called the Buffalo nickel. This design is a modern tribute to the original Buffalo nickel that was made from 1913 to 1938. On the front side of the 2005 coin, you'll see a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, but instead of the old side profile, this one shows Jefferson facing forward. It was a big design change and gave the coin a more realistic, modern look. On the back side, there's the image of a powerful buffalo standing tall on the plains. This was a way to honor America's wildlife and frontier history. The buffalo design was inspired by an actual animal named Black Diamond, who lived at the Central Park Zoo in New York City long ago. So, not only is the coin beautiful, but it also carries real history with it. Now, let's talk about the numbers. The Denver Mint produced about 487,680,000 of these coins, almost $500 million. Because so many were made, most 2005 Buffalo nickels are quite common. A normal, circulated one that's been used in change is only worth 5 cents its face value. Even an uncirculated one in mint condition usually sells for $1 to $3, depending on how clean and shiny it is. If you have one graded by a professional grading company and it's in a high mint state, like MS65, it could be worth around $10 to $20. In perfect condition, MS67 examples have sold for about $100, $150. So, the regular coins aren't rare, but they're still nice to collect because of their design and history. But here's where things get exciting: a small number of 2005 Buffalo nickels were made with a famous minting error that turned them from ordinary coins into real collector treasures. This error is called the Speared Bison variety. The Speared Bison error is one of the most popular modern coin errors out there. On these coins, you can see a long raised line running through the buffalo's body, starting near its shoulder and going through its belly. It looks like someone threw a spear straight through the animal, which is why collectors call it the Speared Bison. This error was caused by a deep gouge in the die that's the metal stamp used to press the coin design. When that damaged die was used, the scratch showed up as a raised line on every coin it struck. This wasn't caught right away, so a limited number of these coins made it into circulation before the mint fixed the problem. Because they're so rare and visually striking, collectors love them, and their value has continued to go up over the years. Now let's talk about the real 2025 market value of the Speared Bison error. A circulated Speared Bison nickel in average condition, with visible wear, is usually worth around $150 to $300. A lightly circulated or uncirculated example can range from $400 to $1,000. A certified coin graded MS64, near mint state, can be worth around $700 to $1,200. High-grade examples, like MS65 or MS66, have sold for $2,000 to $3,500 at auction. The highest-graded examples, MS67 Speared Bison nickels, have been known to sell for $5,000 or more, depending on the buyer and the auction house. So yes, the rumors are true. A genuine 2005 Speared Bison error coin in top mint condition really can be worth around $5,000, and sometimes even higher. But remember, these coins are extremely rare, and not every 2005 Buffalo nickel has this error. Now, there are a few other types of errors from 2005 that are interesting but not as valuable. One of them is called an improperly annealed planchet, or sometimes a copper wash error. Normally, the nickel blanks are heated during the minting process so the metal hardens properly. If this process isn't done right, the coin can turn a reddish or dark color because the copper layer underneath the nickel shows through. These coins can look unusual and are collectible, but they usually sell for $20 to $50, depending on condition. Another type of error is the clipped planchet. This happens when the coin blank is cut from the sheet of metal and a small piece from the edge gets missed or clipped. The result is a coin with a curved cut on one side. These are fairly uncommon, and their value depends on the size of the clip. Most sell for $10 to $100, depending on how noticeable it is. Now, how can you tell if your coin might be valuable? It's simple, and you can do it right at home. First, look on the front of the coin below Jefferson's portrait. If you see a small D, that means it was made at the Denver Mint. That's the right one. Next, flip it over and take a close look at the buffalo. Use a magnifying glass or your phone's camera and zoom in. Look carefully around the buffalo's shoulder and stomach. If you see a long raised line or groove that looks like it cuts through the animal, you might have the speared bison variety. Make sure it's not just a scratch or damage from circulation. Real mint errors are raised and part of the coin's design, while scratches are cut into the surface. If you think you have a real one, don't clean it or rub it. That can lower its value. Keep it safe in a protective coin holder or plastic sleeve. The best next step is to have it professionally graded and authenticated ** by a service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. They'll examine the coin, confirm if it's a genuine speared bison error, and give it a grade from 1 to 70. High-grade certified coins are what bring in those big auction prices. It's also a good idea to check online auction sites like eBay or Heritage Auctions to see what similar coins have sold for recently. This helps you get an idea of the current market value. In 2025, most regular 2005D Buffalo nickels sell for $1 to $3, while confirmed speared bison errors in nice condition range from $500 to $5,000, depending on the grade. Collectors love this coin because it's a perfect mix of beauty, history, and mystery. The 2005 Buffalo nickel design celebrates America's heritage and wild spirit, while the rare speared bison error adds that thrill of discovery. It reminds us that even a small everyday coin can turn out to be a hidden treasure. So, if you have one of these coins, take a good look at it. You might just have something valuable sitting in your coin jar or wallet. Even if it's not the speared bison, it's still a wonderful piece of American coinage that's worth keeping. To sum it up, the regular 2005D Buffalo nickel is common and usually worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars in uncirculated condition. But the 2005D speared bison error is ultra rare and can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to as much as $5,000 in top condition. Every coin has its own market value, history, and design, and this one truly stands out as one of the most famous modern errors in U.S. coin history. So, check your change, check your coin jars, and who knows, maybe you're sitting on a tiny fortune and don't even know it yet. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about the 2005D Buffalo nickel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more coin videos. Comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or think you might have one of these speared bison nickels. I love hearing your stories. Keep searching your pocket change because sometimes, the most valuable treasures come in the smallest packages.